Yo, Angie was good.
Oh, nothing much, Mavs. Just got off a few games of Call of Duty earlier.
Did you? Man, you don't even play with me no more. It's fucked up. Hurt my
Dude,
feelings.
no, every time I'm on, you're off. You're always in class and vice versa. Like I would be getting your live stream notifications like at 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, who does this?
Yeah, no, my classes usually are in the evening. I got hit with a lot of classes, which is good. I'm not complaining. It's more
Yeah,
money. But
yeah,
yeah, I did that, and then I just started going live early as hell because some of the cats in the States are on at that time too. So I'm
yeah.
able to join their games and whatnot. But yeah,
That's
man, just to let the audience know for y'all that's tuning in, this is my homegirl. We met playing Modern Warfare. So she be killing people on the squad, doing her job on the team. Doing it pretty good, I might add. Shit. But yeah, I wanted to talk about gaming tonight on the podcast, and specifically, I wanted the female perspective because I
mm-hmm.
know these. I, I hear them in the chat when we're playing, so I want to get your perspective as a female gamer. What is it like uh, playing online and jumping into these battle leagues and whatnot?
So as far as the whole online gaming realm, I'm pretty new to it. I think Call of Duty is literally my first time ever doing any online gaming.
Oh, real shit?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I thought you had a ton of experience the way you be playing, but all right. My bad.
Nah, no. I'm not new to Call of Duty and the whole Call of Duty campaign.
Yeah.
My very first time I ever played Call of Duty was the very first Call of Duty game back in. Excuse me, I know my cat might be getting
I
in
know
the
I had a
picture.
big ass tail on there for a second.
But back on PS3 or PS2, I think it was the very first Call of Duty game, and I've been hooked on Call of Duty since then. But as a older female that's new to the online streaming world, I already kind of expect it because I've seen YouTube videos, what it's like to be a female gamer. I see it as a way for people to hide behind a controller or a keyboard and mouse and be complete assholes without any repercussions. Is
True.
essentially what it goes down to, because the fact of the matter is a lot of these players, they won't talk like that to your face. Plain and simple. But as an older female, and I'm not afraid to hide my age. I'm 42 years old.
42?
It doesn't. Yeah, I'm 42.
Well, you don't seem like it. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
You 42.
um, so as an older female who games, it doesn't bother me that much. I've spent a lot of time around men. I've heard a lot of crazy stories. I've heard some of the darkest conversations that men can have with each other, and I just happened to be there in their presence when they were telling each other these stories.
Well,
Nothing
hold on. Let me point out that, sorry to cut you off. Let me point out that you're in the military. You're stationed in Korea, right?
No, I'm not in the military anymore. I'm actually medically retired. I am here in Korea as a civilian contractor.
Okay, I get
So
you.
yeah.
Well, yeah, now that former military, being a military brat myself,
Mm-hmm.
I know what that's like, that military life, especially when my pops was wild as fuck. So I get what you mean
Yeah.
with conversations people can have. And then going back to the gaming thing, I hear shit all the time too on the race thing. But
Yeah.
like you said, it's a lot of these cats ain't gonna say that shit to your face. It's just
No.
hiding behind that keyboard or the controller. But at the same time, too, in my experience, because I do play other titles, but it seems to be specifically the Call of Duty community
Mm-hmm.
that's wild like that. Like every other game is kind of chill.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard the same thing. I've heard that I've heard people randomly say that Call of Duty has probably one of the most toxic group of individuals out there. And I think the reason why is because the type of crowd it draws in.
Yeah.
It basically is just running and gunning, and it also has a lot of not so honest people that play it, you know,
Motherfuckers hiding behind their avatars is what it is.
yeah, yeah. And there's no, other than when you're on the multiplayer, other than the game objective itself, there's really no objective at all. Like you're running and gunning, you can play the objective or you can go for kills,
Mm.
So there's no, group on group mission, like meeting an objective as a huge mission.
Mm.
I think if it was like that, then it wouldn't be as toxic. But since it's just literally, 10, 15 minutes of running and gunning, people are excited, people are hyped up, I mean, they got to throw their dicks on the table somehow.
Yeah,
So
true
that's
that.
one way.
True that. But yeah, I think in going along with that thought, I think it really is just the game itself, like the Call of Duty crowd. Because if you
Mhm.
play something like Wildlands or hold on. My bad. Yeah, you play something like Breakpoint, for example. So it's a squad-based shooter, and you got to play the objective. You know, you got to go against the enemy, play the objective, and focus. So the crowd that you meet on there is mad different. You play on Call of Duty, and you're playing team deathmatch or search and destroy, and search and destroy is slow. Yeah, compared to team deathmatch.
Yeah.
You got a lot of time for people to sit there and talk mad shit. Oh, you suck. Like, bro, shut the fuck up, man. It's just a video game, bro. But yeah, it's what I call little dick energy, man. It's a bunch
Yeah.
of when they start talking that shit. Like, all right, bro. I see how you are unsatisfactory to females, especially when you're playing in a squad and then you like everybody's talking, you hear a bunch of dudes, and then all of a sudden a girl's voice pops up, and yeah, what happens? You tell me from the female perspective. As soon as they hear a girl, what happens?
All right, so a few things happen. I mean, different things happen. Again, it depends on the player. There are times where your own teammates, not the opposing teammates sometimes, but even your own teammates and the opposing teammates, first thing out of their mouth is "shut the fuck up, you bitch," "shut the fuck up, you whore," and every other name under the books, So rather than talking shit to their counterparts, their male counterparts, they see an opportunity to try to pick on what they believe is the weaker link.
Mm.
And that to me is human nature. That's why it doesn't bug me, because we as humans, it's always been, we always go for the weaker. This is why we have such an issue with bullying.
True.
So what?
No, the mic
But
kind of
this is
cut
what,
out for a second, but you good.
okay. And then you have your other side of the house where it's, yo, babe, what's up? What's your Snapchat? How much for a toe pic? Do you have an OnlyFans? And you know me, I
Yeah.
don't give a shit. I'm like, dude, I'm fat and ugly. You don't want me. I'm old too. I'm old enough to be your mom, your grandma. I don't give a shit. you know. And then you got the other aspect. You got pretty cool guys who don't give a shit either way. They're like, yo, just play. Like, are you good? And there's days where I can prove myself to be a good player. And there's days where I go 0-10,
Oh yeah, I hate those.
So, but really, it surprises me that, excuse me, it surprises me that men every guys that I be playing with that are talking shit to the opposing team, and the opposing team, the only one they want to target is me because I'm the only female on the team. You know, so it's, I guess they think I don't know, try to get under my skin, or think women are more emotional, which women are more emotional. But I mean, I'm to the point where you get my age, you really don't give a fuck anymore. And plus, I was a jailer. I was a jailer for 3 years, and when you're working as a jailer, a female jailer in a male jail,
Oh,
you
you're gonna
hear
get
and
that shit. You gonna get it. Yeah, okay. I mean, I've been in this situation, so
yeah,
I understand. I seen it go down.
yeah, yeah. You understand, you know what I'm saying?
Okay, so
So
that's why you react so calm. So I was wondering sometimes, like, damn, I don't know how you deal with that shit. But being a female jailer, I can understand because that
yeah,
shit gets wild. That shit gets real
yeah.
wild. But yeah,
Hmm.
like I said, a lot of times, motherfuckers will run around and nigger this and nigger that. And if we were standing face to face, they ain't gonna say that same shit. It's just
Right?
hiding behind that avatar. It's all it
Yep.
is. So for me, I don't get upset. I'm just like, but I'm winning though.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say is look at the scoreboard.
Yep.
What
And
bothers me is if you got teammates that you're playing with, like search and destroy, right? You got a 5-man squad. If you got teammates you're playing with and you're the last one left, I hate motherfuckers that want to tell you what to do. Like, go here,
mhm.
go there. Shut the fuck up, homie. You dead already. Just let me know
Right.
if they're around the corner.
Yes. Yes. And that's the thing is I think to a point, it's even rougher for us females. When I'm the last one and I'm on my team and I'm playing with a bunch of randoms, not my regular guys, it's just like, man, this fucking bitch sucks, and oh, you're dumb. Why didn't you look over there? And I'm like, motherfucker, you're not in my shoes. You don't see what I'm seeing. Like, my I don't have this high definition $3,000 PC gaming rig. You know what I'm saying? I got a PlayStation connected to fucking 1040. Yeah, TV. Like, I'm sorry, you know.
Nah, none of them have that shit. That's why they're already dead.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the issue. That's my big issue with Call of Duty.
Hmm.
Besides the game is dope. I think to me it's one of the best in the title so far, or in the series, I should say. But it's just the crowd. The Call of
Yeah.
Duty crowd is toxic as fuck. I mean, I've been playing Breakpoint lately. I bought it when it came out, and Ubisoft is known for that shit. They put out games that's not finished, it's broken. But what I do like about Ubisoft is they'll listen to the fans. If the fans are like, "Yo, this needs to be fixed," they'll do that. So I actually bought the game 9 months ago, but I just sat on it. It was like, yeah, I'll jump into it when I start hearing it improve. But nah, it's good now. Actually, I think you would enjoy it if you jump on there. Since you like the squad-based thing, I think you would enjoy Breakpoint. But
I'm
speaking
a
of that, I want to know your preferred platform. What game genres you usually go for?
So my preferred platform right now is PlayStation.
Mm.
Um,
You
it's
got
just
that
coming.
right. No, I'm just joking.
It's
That's
just
that.
coming
That's the
up,
console war, right?
right? PlayStation sucks. Yeah, yeah. Crackbox is garbage too.
Fucking.
Um,
Well, hold on. I will say this. Sorry to cut you off. I will say this though. Personally, I've been a Sony fan since Sony One. Uh, Being that PS5 is really getting into the backwards compatibility now, and a lot of my library is PS4 games, I'm definitely going PS5. Uh,
yeah,
Other than that, I'd go with an Xbox, but truth be told, their games list is garbaggio. I don't
yeah.
the exclusives. So for me, it's PS5 for that reason.
Yeah, and that's the other thing is as I started learning and getting more into gaming, I found out the amount of exclusives that are for PlayStation is like wow. You know, when the Ghost of Tsushima came out, I mean, you had guys going out to pawn shops and buying used PlayStation 4s just so they can play, Ghost of Tsushima. So, I mean, uh-oh.
Yeah,
But
Zumbi
yeah, I
scripting,
was
right?
grinding on that game.
Matter of fact, let's talk about it. So Ghost of Tsushima, I know you finished it already, right?
Oh yeah, I got platinum trophy on that
Did you?
baby.
Oh shit, god
Yeah.
damn. All right. Well, I have the unpopular opinion, right? I like Ghost of
Okay.
Tsushima, but coming from Sucker Punch, I think they could have done better. I kind of got bored. Halfway through it, I kind of got bored and was like, you know what? I put it down for a minute, but
Yeah.
that's me. I'm a little weird like that sometimes. I'll play a game halfway through, get bored, and then I'll go back to it. But I did that with God of War, the latest one. I played halfway through, got bored, put it down. Then I went back and all right, it was decent. But yeah, for me, I think it's a good game. I don't think it was as good as it could be. If you compare
Mm-hmm.
Sucker Punch games, right? If you compare it to Second Son was like off the charts with what you can do
Yeah.
with your character and all that other shit. But uh, Ghost of Tsushima was, I think the premise and the storyline are excellent, but the
Yeah.
gameplay for me was kind of like eh, it kind of got real repetitive, real quick.
Yeah. And I
But,
and I completely agree on that.
yeah, so for me, I still enjoy it. I'm still glad to have it in my collection for real. But yeah, I kind of
Yeah.
got bored with it. But one thing I will say is they have an expansion coming out, which turns it into squad-based samurais. So I think
Yep.
from what I was told, you get to play as a squad and achieve objectives or battle other squads. So they have a multiplayer expansion coming out, and it's free. So as long as you have the
Yep.
game, it'll just expand the game. So I'm looking forward to that. I think when that comes
Yeah.
out, I'll pick it back up.
Yeah. And yeah, we should hook up on that because they're basing that multiplayer aspect based off of Japanese folklore.
Mm-hmm.
So all the old Japanese like folklore, fairy tales, things like that, like the monster, things to scare kids to go to sleep type deal. They're gonna base it off of that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going like if you remember during the actual storyline when you're going to do all the side tales and you meet with these little farmers and they tell you, according to myth, the guy who owned the, ghost armor doing this, that,
Mm-hmm.
they're basing the multiplayer off of those stories.
Ah, okay.
So so you and your squad, there's like you can either go as a team of 4 or go as a team of 2,
Mm-hmm.
and you can be there's 4 different characters that you can be. You can be the assassin,
Mm-hmm.
uh, you can be the archer. Um, there's 2 other ones I forgot. I'm not gonna say because I don't want to give out wrong info, but yeah. So either a team of 2 or 4, and you battle your way. And basically, the bosses you meet are the people that they're talking about in those side stories in Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right. Yeah. So you get to hunt them down, get the armor. That assassin sounds nice. All right. Yeah. When is it supposed to come out?
See, they said sometime in fall. So usually games like that, maybe the add-on, maybe in October. I'm
Mhm.
hoping. So yeah,
Yeah, and then it's right before the PS5 drops.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Yo, speaking of that, how much you think that PS5 is gonna run? Because Xbox already confirmed their price.
I believe it's going to be around the same price because they want to be competitive.
Mm.
So you're going to have your diehard fans that no matter what, they're going to pay, even if PlayStation 5 comes out $100 more than the Xbox, you're going to have your guys that are going to pay that because they're just diehard PlayStation fans. And then me, that'd be, but I think it'll be about, $500.
Yeah, it seems fair. You know, I was talking to my homie in Cali, and we were talking about that. But yeah, if it's 700, I think is way too much. 600's a little. I would still pay 600, but I think 500's fair for the hardware that's in it, the specs that it has. I think that's fair. I'll rock with that. You know,
Yeah,
plus,
I don't see them. I don't see them going past 600. 599.
nah, I doubt 600. I doubt. Maybe I'm banking 450 to 500, somewhere around that. It's
You know
when the
they never.
price is right.
They never do the 450. They never go 50. They go by 99s.
Yeah,
Like
true. This is
the,
true.
the yeah, history of all gaming console is there. They go by 99. So 499 or 599 or 399 or 199. That's like a standard across the board.
I know, but the fact is they're dealing with Xbox having multiple units, right? So the PlayStation has the all digital one or the disc based one.
Yeah.
Um, and I know the new Xbox has one that's priced at $399 already. So they got to compete with that. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking the digital will probably be $399, and then the disc based, uh, which I still haven't decided if I'm going to go digital or disc, keep the disc based still. But yeah,
I
I'm
would.
sure, huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm sure the disc base is going to be competitive with Xbox. So about 500, but somewhere within those. I'm still trying to decide because for me, I'm buying mostly digital now. Number
Mm-hmm.
one, because it's just easier. You don't got to keep popping a disc in and out. And then two, my son in the States, uh, he punk ass benefits on me buying games, and he can just play them. So
Yeah.
that's a good thing I really like about the digital. But at the same time, since it's the new model or the next generation, I kind of want to have the disc to go along with it. It's
Mm-hmm.
sort of like the collector's thing, but we'll see.
Yeah.
My wallet's looking like.
I think the plus side, I'll probably get the digital one. And I think the plus side about having the digital downloads is you get a lot more perks.
You do.
Yeah. Yeah. So like you can buy packets. Like you
Mhm.
can buy just the game, or you can buy the game plus, and then you can buy the game plus plus.
Yeah.
Obviously, you're gonna pay more money, but they do things like behind the scenes and how do they come up with a storyline, uh, digital wallpapers, things like that. Then you get like packets that's usable within the game where you can get new skins and an upgraded weapon system, so you get all that. Whereas with the actual download, the game, you have to purchase that separately. Once you purchase the game, then you gotta go and do the downloadable content, the DLC.
Yeah.
So
Plus, you don't get scratch discs. You know.
it's true. That is true. Plus, like
But
here's like for me personally, like I'm thinking about like when I go to the States. When I go back to the States, all I have to do is pack up my PlayStation and put
yeah,
insurance on it and mail it out. Not like 20 discs of games,
yeah, exactly. You know, the only
Yeah.
thing is, I don't know. I don't know. Well, I'm trying to think because it's clashing with my sensibility and my collector's ambition. I
Mm-hmm.
would say I was gonna say maybe depending on the title, I'll collect the disc, like Cyberpunk, for example. I'd like to have the steel box set and all that, but for the most part, I'll probably still stay digital because it's just that portability factor. Like me, when I travel, I just pack my PlayStation. I'm good. It's
Yeah.
connected to whatever TV. I hate lugging around all these damn games. Like, ugh. Like back in Super Nintendo days, you had 20, 30 cartridges to bring with you. God
Yeah.
damn,
Yeah.
pain in the ass. But
Yeah.
I also want to get your thoughts on the Cold War. What you think about the Black Ops Cold War?
Okay, so I watched a few trailers and I watched a few trailers of the multiplayer version. I
Mm.
think the multiplayer version is going to be exactly like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. You know,
The kill
other
streaks,
than,
though.
huh?
The kill streaks. You know, right now in Modern Warfare, if you got kill streaks going, it don't matter if how many times you die, you still have your kill streaks until you use them. But
Mm-hmm.
in Cold War, let's say you build up your kill streaks, you get your fucking nuke, and then somebody kills you, you starting all over again.
Good. Good. That might benefit me. But
I didn't think about it that way, but that's true. It actually keeps the game going longer uh,
yeah,
since you got to use your kill streaks before you get killed. So,
but um I think the multiplayer version is just going to be almost the same because they collabed on that Black Ops.
yeah, yeah.
So, different maps, different weapon systems, obviously, different characters. Uh, I don't hear so much about the campaign. I think a lot of people are not even interested in the campaign because the campaign for Modern Warfare was pretty garbage. It was garbage.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
I played it. I beat it. I was thinking about going through it again at one point, but I'm like, I'll try it again later.
Hmm.
But it got pretty, I mean, I don't know, man.
To me, the thing that I found that was weird about it, and I'm not trying to be sexist, but uh, the female military leader in a Muslim society, I found that
Mm-hmm.
to be a little bit pandering because it doesn't ring true. And
Yeah.
I'm not shitting on girls. I'm not shitting on the Muslim faith. Nothing like that. I just it doesn't ring true because from what I know in of that society, and I'm no by no means an expert, I don't think that the men in that society would take orders from a female. But like I said, I could have an antiquated view of that. But
No,
otherwise,
and
I thought the campaign was decent. I did enjoy the story.
yeah, I mean, obviously, video games now are catering to a much more sensitive society out there.
That's what I'm
So,
trying.
yeah, I'm not afraid to say it. I don't give a shit. It is pandering. The reality is there are female officers in, other countries that have Muslim-based faith, but they're strictly in certain roles, like administrative roles, or they're there to ensure the female enlisted is doing their job. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, there are female leaders in these Muslim countries, but they're very limited in what they can and cannot do.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I was saying. It's like
yeah,
as far as her being the general, she's the top dog. I was like, really? That's some pandering ass shit, man. But
yeah,
uh,
they're not gonna do it.
she was beautiful, and that's not even the point. But I just thought that that was pandering. Like, come on, Modern Warfare. It's kind of like too when they were blasting this thing about the BLM movement. We stand by everybody having equal. I was like, come on, bro. Don't don't pander. I hate that shit. If you're
Yeah,
supporting Black Lives Matter, how come every Black Call of Duty player didn't get a free DLC or something?
yeah,
Like, come on, I don't want to hear that shit. Keep the politics. You know, if it's gonna be in game, all right, cool. But keep it off of the multiplayer and the daily thing that we do. As far as the campaign, I thought the campaign was dope. I enjoyed it, especially the clearing house mission.
mhm,
I really like that one. But
yeah,
the campaign in Black Ops, I'm looking forward to it for real, because Black Ops is one of my favorite titles in the Call of Duty series. I loved Black Ops 1. Black Ops 2 was the absolute shit, in my opinion. 3 kind of lost its way a bit. And then 4, I was like, fuck this shit. it was cartoony as hell, bright. They're running on walls, but this, of course, they're rebooting everything. The Modern Warfare got rebooted, brought it back to the style I like, and then Cold War looks to be the same. Like you said, they collaborated, so I was like, good man, because it was
I
getting
think,
crappy.
yeah, I'm actually looking forward. I did do the pre-order. I'm actually looking forward to the campaign because I'm really big on history. I love
Yeah,
history.
the
I run
campaign.
I run a history page on Facebook. So it's going to, and I hear that they're changing it, to be honest. I honestly hear that they're changing it, which is actually pissing me off. So it's supposed to be based off of a lot of how the CIA and the DEA was working
Right,
against communism.
right.
Well, China got their panties in the wad, and China demanded that they take out whatever it is about communism, and I heard that they're going to abide by that, which is
Why?
it goes back to what you said earlier, pandering.
The sales. They just want the sales.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, yeah, it was a very big thing at the time. I remember that growing up, the Reagan era, uh,
Hmm.
that communism, especially with China, was a huge thing, and between China and Russia. And
Yeah.
right now, I think the political landscape is uh, the states is working with China and Russia, so they're pandering. God damn it!
Yeah. So I heard they're changing a lot of the context of it because they don't want to start any issues with China. So,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
Again, it's rumorville, so don't take my word as gospel.
Hmm.
It's just everything that I'm seeing about it right now. It's like the trailer that's showing that KGB defector
Hmm.
when he was talking. It's a black and white. He's KGB defector wearing glasses, and he's telling the interviewer how they do propaganda. Like step one, you do
Hmm.
this. Step two, you do that. Blah blah blah. Without getting sidetracked, that's actually what's going on right now in the United States. But back on topic, it's I heard they took that part out of the trailer. I don't know if it's true or not because I haven't researched it since then.
Hmm.
So, but yeah, you know, that is literally like the cornerstone for propaganda is there's a basic,
Yeah, a basic step, uh,
yeah,
two, three
step
steps.
by step. Yep.
I mean, I get it. They don't want to get too deep into the politics. After all, it is a game, and then you're gonna have more kids on it than adults. Well, no,
Hmm.
I ain't gonna say that because there's a gang of adults, like you, me, and everybody we play with. So I guess just because they don't want to get too deep and lose sales,
Yeah.
I get it. As a game developer, you're not in the political landscape, so you don't really want to cut off sales. I get that. I get it.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I enjoy Black Ops because of the whole smoke and mirrors thing with the CIA involved, and from the beginning, it was like that. There was brainwashing Woods and all that. So
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, I like it.
I can't wait to be honest. I want to see how it goes. I want to see how it goes.
Yeah, I'm debating because I'm stacking some chips for it right now because they speaking of digital, they got the package where you get the PS4 game and the PS5 game. Or you can
Hmm.
just buy the PS4 game since it'll play on PS5 as backwards compatible, but I want the PS5 game too. So
So what I'm understanding about the backwards compatibility is it's the it's the gaming companies that are restricting it. So
mm,
for instance, like PlayStation, I think Ubisoft is the major gaming company that is restricting backwards play. So they're basically saying like none of our games pass PlayStation 4 are going to be compatible with PlayStation 5.
Mm.
So whatever Ubisoft that you have for PlayStation 3, you won't be able to play it on PlayStation 5. So I'm like, that's kind of fair, because you think about how electronics and technology goes when it comes to things like service support, the ability to play online. I mean, a lot of those old games from PlayStation 3, they're not online compatible, you
Yeah.
know? So I mean, there's no service support for them, nothing.
Well, they're basically dead games. I mean, you
Yeah,
can
they're
play them for nostalgia's sake. As far as multiplayer or online capabilities, I personally, and I'm a big Sony fan, I'm not gonna look to play that much a PS3
Mhm.
game. So let's say, for example, Midnight Club. I love Midnight Club to death. I still have it on my PS3, and I still play it once in a while. But to jump on it and say, "Hey, I'm gonna put another 100 hours into it," hell no. Not if I
Yeah,
got a new PS5 game. But I understand they're restricting it to a point because as developers, there's a lot of work that goes into it.
yeah,
So, you know, you want to be able to get paid properly for the work that you put in. For me, I would rather, and they're talking about these games now are going to be $70 instead of $60, which in my opinion is fine. But we should not have to buy a PS Plus subscription just to play online. I do miss the days where going online was free, which it should be. I'm already paying the internet bill, so I don't see why I have to pay another thing just to jump online. But I'm willing to pay the higher price if they say, hey, online play is free as long as you have the game. You know,
yeah,
to me that's a fair strike in the marketplace between consumer and developer. I think it's healthy.
yeah. True.
But you know I've been taking up a lot of your time tonight. I thank you for joining me. But I wanted to talk to you about a different topic. Let's get into the deep water real quick, because I know
Okay.
you're opinionated, and I value your opinion. But I had posted this thing I come across about this officer that killed his family pet. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can share my screen with you. Okay, you should be able to see it right now. You got it?
No, no, it's just black.
Oh hell.
Hold on. All right, now, yeah, it's up now.
Okay. So I'll play the video real quick. Hold on. I don't know if you'll be able to hear the sound, but let's see. Play. What the hell?
It's not
Oh, there you
playing.
go. It's playing.
Okay.
And then, yeah, it's mad choppy though. And then it stopped again. What the hell?
I think a lot of your bandwidth is being taken up. That's why.
I don't I don't see why. Nobody else is online right now. But hold on.
Yeah, I seen that video multiple times.
Yeah, so for those that don't know, officer had killed his family pet during the course of uh, what was it? During the course of a call out. They were there for a call for some reason, and then she ended up shooting the family pet.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you know the story, yeah?
Yep. Yep.
So yeah, now it's playing perfectly. Weird. I don't think it's my bandwidth. I think it's Facebook. Facebook does this shit. It's annoying. But yeah, so the thing was, this dog was in its own yard, and it was fenced off, so
Mm-hmm.
it couldn't get to the officer, and it couldn't get to the
Yeah.
officer's dog. What was happening is the
Mm-hmm.
canine unit, the cop had lost control of her dog, of her canine, and
Yep.
then they were like
Mm-hmm.
battling through the fence or whatnot. So instead of getting her own canine unit in control, she chose to shoot the dog, who's on the other side of
Mm-hmm.
this fence. So she's not in immediate danger. So to me, I don't see the sense in that. I think she should lose her job, but I want to get your opinion. What do you think
Okay.
about it?
So, so I did a little bit more research on that video. First of all, I think what she did, and you know my feelings about animals. I love animals, and I would choose most human life. I would choose most animal life over a human life. But again, I'm saying that now, you know. So I think it was really fucked up what she did. Okay. Now I have worked around canine, military canine all my life, my military career. I've trained with them. I've experienced their training. I talk to them on why they do certain things. And one of the things, so here's what happened in the video. You're correct about the call out. They went to a call out about an individual who was suspected of robbing a store or something like that. They were in that neighborhood. Canine officer gets out, and in the video, she's walking down the fence line, and the family dog ran from an area that the family dog was actually locked up in, like it was inside of a kennel. So for whatever reason, which is in the right of the homeowners, it's their right, they released the dog. Well, at that time when they released the dog, it ran to that corner. The canine officer did lose control of her dog, okay, which was pretty stupid considering the fact that you're in a populated area. You should be a little bit more aware of your surroundings, especially when you're in a populated neighborhood that you're going to have kids around, dogs around, other people around. So yeah, she did fail to control her canine. Now, from what I've read was it was getting to the point where they cannot verify if the family dog was sticking their head through or the snout through the bars, because it wasn't like a regular chain link fence, it was bars. Or if the canine actually stuck its snout through the bars to where the pit bull, the family dog, was biting the snout of the canine. So now, I don't believe that she should be fired. I do believe she should be reprimanded and lose her position as a canine officer. So, and yeah, that's
sorry to cut you off. I see there in the video that the family dog did have the canine locked by the snout. So that's what happened. She couldn't pull the dog back because his snout, that pity had that motherfucker snout. If you can see it right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so she shot him to make him let go. Okay, but yeah, I'm sorry to cut you off.
No. So I'll let you know some information about canine and canine handlers. One of the things that they are trained to do, in be it military handlers or civilian handlers, if another dog is aggressive towards your dog, you're obligated to kill that aggressive dog.
Really?
And they're trained. Yes.
Well, I mean, I get that because, you know, canine units, they're treated as officers, right? So as a criminal, if you're running from the cops and the canine chases you down and you shoot it, you will get charged with killing a police officer. I understand that.
Yeah, in some departments they don't treat it as a full officer. I'll put it, you know, a lot of people think, oh, well, you're going to get, you know, put on murder charges for killing a canine. That's not true. It's canines are considered property, and they're like a $30,000 piece of property.
Yeah.
They cost as much as a car, the car you and I can drive. You know, they're 30 something plus $1,000 piece of property because they require the amount of training that goes on with those things. So it is in the duty of the handler themselves to, one, control their canine, two, be aware of their situation, and obviously be able to control their dog. If, and I'll tell you this straight up, I've almost witnessed several times where canine handlers in the military come close to killing stray dogs.
Yeah.
You know, stray dogs, you know.
I mean, a stray is different though. a stray is different. That's mad different than a family pet that was in its
No,
own yard.
and you're absolutely correct. But the stray dogs were not aggressive at all. They were, our little deployment pets. You know what I'm saying?
Ah,
So when the canine handlers are around us, they're like, "Yo, take that dog out of here, or I have to shoot it."
hmm.
Because one, they have to protect their dog from diseases.
True.
Two, they don't want their dog to attack, that dog, and now you have another issue on your hand, and this just goes. So in the civilian law enforcement world, she failed to control her dog, obviously. Two, if that pit bull did have her dog by the snout, which I cannot say 100% because it is a grainy video, then she is obligated to somehow ensure that her dog does not receive any further injury. And if that means up to killing the canine, then she has that right. Now, departmental policy and what they do with it, they might actually reprimand her for it. And I really, to be honest, I really don't think that she should be pulling the canine duties anymore. But I
Hell
do.
no. I agree with you. I agree with you.
or
Hell no.
or she should be placed on restriction and retrained on how to handle a canine properly. Do I believe that she should be terminated from her job? No, I don't believe that she should be terminated because, again, even states right now, even the government recognizes pets as a property
Hmm.
and nothing more. It's only
But yeah,
recently that, it's only recently that the federal government wants to mandate um, it to be basically a felony for animal abuse, which I applaud. Because
yeah, definitely.
majority of the serial killers out there, they start out with killing animals and then they work their way up to humans.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Um,
I agree with that all the way with this officer, right? This is how I look at it. Family pets, whether we treat them like part of the family or not, they're still pets. It's not a human life. The dog was in
mhm.
its own yard, so it's behaving, it's defending its territory. The officer,
Yep.
when you have a canine unit, it's not just a family pet. It's definitely trained to be to do certain things, right? It's trained to take people down. It's trained to find drugs or whatever. But the fact is, it's not a family pet anymore. So it's basically like a living gun. So as a canine
Mhm.
officer, how I see it, how I would treat it if I were an officer, I would say, hey, this canine dog, it's more like a weapon than a pet. So I would be more aware
And
of where the
right.
fuck my dog is looked at, positioned, or what it's paying attention to. I don't think I ever would have had that situation where my canine unit got lockjawed by a pit bull that was in its own yard. I would have had sense enough to keep it away from the damn fence. So
Mhm.
even if the mandate of her department is if her dog's in, she's allowed to kill the threat, it was still fault for letting the dog into that situation.
Yeah.
It's like as a cop, if you take your out, put it on your cruiser, and then you on the neighborhood, and it picks up your gun. Whose fault is it? You
Yeah.
know,
No, and you're
she
right.
should have been aware. Okay, I can go with your argument that she shouldn't lose her job or her means of income. I get it. Okay, we're humans. Everybody's got to pay a bill, but she needs to write a desk or something. Because in my opinion, she
And
is not responsible enough to be in the field.
yeah, yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
And so obviously, no, you're fine. And so I'm looking at this more objectively because I do have the background in it,
Which is why I
where
wanted your opinion.
yeah. So a lot of department policy is, and whenever an officer discharges a weapon,
Mm,
what happens is the officer is placed on administrative leave immediately.
right.
That's it. And with administrative leave, they're not allowed to go out on the streets, hold a gun. They're still considered a peace officer by law, but basically they're pulling desk duty or helping investigations, things like that, until their situation is handled, or they found innocent or guilty of whatever situation they were involved in.
Mhm.
I think we should wait. I almost guarantee you, so a lot of the reports that I've read is that department is receiving death threats now because of that. Do I think another human life should be taken over that? I don't think so. But again, people are emotional, and a lot of people with no experience in that situation, they speak off of emotion rather than objectively.
Right.
So,
And you're gonna get that because it's a
and I
family
understand
pet,
that.
you know,
Yep.
because it's a family pet.
And
So what's that?
go ahead.
No,
No, I said I perfectly understand that
go ahead.
because if somebody touches my cats, I swear to God, I'll probably, end up doing something stupid. I'm not saying that they're worth
Exactly.
going to jail for, or another human being losing their life over my cats. But again, I'm emotionally attached to it. So I understand the outrage. I understand the anger. And as much as I understand the outrage and I understand the anger, and when I first saw that video, I'm like, this
Yeah.
fucking bitch. Yeah,
Fuck.
she's a bitch. Yeah. But I also have to look at it based off of my knowledge and my experience. Like, all right, I get it, that's understandable, you know.
I don't know. I try to imagine myself on both sides of the line. So for me, being that I love dogs and pits especially, I treat my dogs and my animals like they're part of the family. So if somebody killed I'd be fucking, what the absolute fuck? That's how I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
react. Like, you just killed a part of my family. Now flip the coin. If I was, let's say, her commanding officer, you know, I'd still be like, how the fuck did you get into this situation? Again, it's
Mm-hmm.
like you left your gun out. It's irresponsible. To me, any way you cut it, it's irresponsible on her part. You know, she ain't no fucking way you should have been in that situation where that dog was able to interact with another dog, especially. But I can understand if it was on the street and both dogs were loose, or even if
Mm-hmm.
the other dog was loose and she had hers on the chain. Yeah, I understand them interacting. But since there was a barrier, how the fuck?
Yeah, and that's going to be one of the biggest issue right there is that barrier. That wrought iron fence, they're trying to determine from what I read on that, they're trying to determine if it was wide enough for that pit bull's head to go through or the canine's head to go through, or if it was wide enough to allow enough of the snout to get through and then the other dog to clamp down on it. But they're also still trying to figure out, was it the pit bull that clamped down on the snout, or was it the canine that clamped down on the snout? Or I mean, there's a lot of variables going on right now, and I'm like, yo, either way, I do agree with the fact that she should have had more control, because when you're in that neighborhood and you're bringing out your canine, you keep it on a tight leash
Hell yeah.
until you get to an area where you can let loose the lead a little bit and give that dog a little bit more distance between you and itself so that it can do its job, such as hunting down the human being that you're, looking for.
Yeah, because they
Yeah.
can, like, even on both sides of the fence, they can be used as weapons. Back in my younger days when I was stupid as fuck, I used to fight dogs. And you can't take a dog that's a known fighter, he's experienced how many fights, and just have a loose chain on it. You
Yeah.
gotta hold that motherfucker real tight. Because if he gets loose, he gets something in his head and decides, he wants to attack somebody, who's to blame? It ain't the
Yeah.
fucking dog's fault. He was trained to be a fighter. So
Yeah.
the fault comes back on the human and whoever the hell was holding that leash. So, like I said, as a canine officer, that's how I would look at it. You know, if I was an officer, this dog is just as much a weapon as my gun is.
Yeah.
Even if I love it, who's a good boy? it's still a
Yeah.
motherfucking weapon, man. But you know, I get your point. We need to see what happens, but I don't think I'll change my stance. I think, you know, at the least, she needs to ride a desk. You know,
Mhm.
she needs a good spanking, not a slap on the wrist. Especially uh, this day and age, man. Because I don't know. I just don't see that. Why the fuck that shit could happen? You know.
Yeah, and the thing is, and I would hope that the department would stick to department policy when it comes down to handing down discipline to the officers,
Mm.
and they don't react over fear of having society go against them,
Mm.
because it doesn't matter in what society we live in, be it criminal society or law-abiding society. We have rules, we have regulations, we have policy. Even in the criminal society, you break a rule, they can kill you for it. You know, there's
You
there's no
damn
due
right.
there's no due process. You know, like, oh, you snitched, dude, boom, you're dead. They don't even have to. They don't even have to believe that you didn't snitch. If they just remotely have any inclination that you snitched on somebody, you're dead.
Well,
Same goes.
there has to be proof. There has to be proof. So
Yeah, you know.
usually, I mean, from what I hear, you know, in the criminal society, if that snitch label is applied, this is why shit like, you know, Takashi 69, it's a abnormal situation, you know,
Yeah,
because back in the day, ain't no way this nigga would have got away with that shit. But
yeah,
you know, some shit has changed. But I do know that snitch labels, it has to be proven. It can't be just, oh, I heard this. No, it's something that's got to be proven. But again, you leading back to your point, you're right. Every society, whatever society you live in, we have rules. And I do want to point out to anybody who's listening is I'm not uh like fuck cops, all cops are motherfucking corrupt and blah blah blah. That's not what I'm saying at all. All I'm saying is cops are held to a higher level of responsibility. That's all I'm
mhm.
saying. In this situation, I think she failed that. At the least, she needs to write a desk, not be seen in public for a good minute, you know. Because
And
you
that
know
very
how public is. Motherfuckers will be like, hey, you that bitch. Yeah, that's you. So,
and you know what, that actually might happen. They might say, yo, from for your own protection, you're
yeah,
gonna have to ride the desk for a while because people got your name and they got your number. They already know who you
fucked up.
are. Yeah.
You fucked
Um, but you know, I also see officers as the same places that criminals come from is the same places that cops come from.
Exactly. I was gonna say that. Good point. Good point.
You know, I see them. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have same way I see how veterans are. Everybody's all like, "Well, he's a veteran, you know, they shouldn't do that to him." I'm like, he's a piece of shit human being. Like, veteran or not, I don't give a shit, you know? Same thing with cops. When everybody's like, "Well, you know, he's a cop and blah blah blah." I'm like, but it doesn't take the fact away that human beings are pieces of shit. It doesn't matter if they have a uniform on. It doesn't matter if they have, you know, pants sagging past their ass. It
Mhm.
doesn't matter because people become police officers because, yeah, they want that power trip. They love that authority. And then they go in there and they become the best officers out there. They become community leaders. And then you got cops out there who, hey, you know, I joined because I needed a job. They
Mhm.
qualify, they pass the course, and they go out there and then they abuse their authority. You know, I don't look at it as, you know, all cops are bastards and fuck the police, because if that's the case, then I can do it with you.
Mhm.
Fuck black people, right? Fuck white
Exactly.
people. You know what I'm saying? That's not right. So I'll look at you as an individual and be like, yeah, that bitch fucked up.
Yeah.
Not cops. That bitch,
Yeah.
that officer,
It
you
wasn't.
know.
It wasn't the whole squad. It's just,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
know, it's just like I teach my kids. You can't depend on color lines, whether it's black, white, whether it's officer blue, civilian, or whatever. You got to be able to judge the character of the person. You know, just because they wear a badge don't mean that they want to be superheroes. Because I know cops that are crooked as fuck. And
oh yeah. Yeah.
you know, you don't have citizens that are superheroes either. So, you know, just like I teach my kids, a motherfucking black person will do you in just as quick as a white person would. Just because they're not yelling and saying, "Oh, you fucking nigger," don't mean they have your best interests at heart. So they can take that, what you find in common, and use it against you. So you got to judge people based on their character, you know.
And you're absolutely correct. You know, the thing is I think we start focusing more on appearance. If you look the same, then you're just as guilty. You know, cops, they all look the same because they all wear a uniform. You know, that is what separates them from the rest of society, is that gun and badge. So therefore the action of this guy is speaking for everybody. But yet in the same breath, you're telling me things like Black Lives Matter when you don't want to be judged based off of your race, but you're judging cops based off the action of one person.
That's, you know, not to get too deep, but that's why I'm not with that Black Lives Matter movement. That, to me, it's a fallacy. I think it's a movement that was co-opted, and just for that reason, just like you said, you know, it goes against itself. The nature of the movement goes against itself. Yeah. You don't want to be judged because you're black, but then, you know, fuck every cop that wears a badge. Shit don't make any fucking sense. You know? But yeah, I guess that's a topic for another discussion.
Yeah, and you're right. Yeah, we're not gonna get back too deep into that, but you know, like I said, I know a lot of cops. I know Fort Worth police officers. I know Dallas PD. I know federal officers. And the thing is, I haven't met one single officer, all right, in the private sector, in the civilian sector, military sector, that says, I joined this job because I can't wait to kill people.
Yeah.
I've never met that. You know, the last thing on anybody's plate is wanting to kill somebody. Because in the end, when you're in a position where you have to take a life, it's regardless of what you say or think, you're going to have to live with that. Did I do something wrong? Could it have gone a different way? Should I pull the trigger? You know, could I have talked them down? Could I have done this? But, you know, after the fact, it's obviously too late. And then, you got.
I have another unpopular opinion, and I'm going to say this. I'll say it on record. The reason why I avoided police work has nothing to do with the background, gang ties, none of that. It had more to do with, if I had a badge, I'm going to be a crooked motherfucker. I'll be honest. If I had a badge, I'll be a crooked motherfucker. And it ain't about abusing power with people on the street. Like, yo, I'm a cop, fuck you. But behind the scenes, if I can make extra money with the badge, I would.
Yeah, and a lot of cops do.
Yeah, a lot of cops do. But in my opinion, that's just it. I think you do have, and I'll cite one of the kids that I went to high school with, did the same shit, man. Became a cop for the specific reason of abusing that power. You know, during high school, we were all cool. He was always talking about being a cop. Once he got that badge, he didn't know us no more. That shit was crazy. So I've seen it firsthand, how people switch as soon as they get the badge. I've seen the crooked side of it, and I've seen the good side. You know, one of the officers that arrested me as a juvenile was a good dude. He kept checking on me to make sure I was doing all right and, you know, giving me good advice. So I can't say all cops are bad, but personally, I would. If I had a badge, I'd be making some extra cheese.
Yeah.
Johnny Public, if I run across him, hey, man, do your thing, you know, try to be safe and all that. I ain't going to abuse motherfuckers like that. But, you know.
And believe it or not, I know cops that do that too. I know cops to be like, yo, take that shit out of my face. That's all. Like, because they don't want to write the report.
Yeah, exactly.
they know Johnny on the corner is out there slinging. They're like, yo, I'm not gonna arrest this guy for the 15th time this year, you know,
Exactly.
because
Fucking
it's
hours of
yeah,
paperwork.
yeah, exactly. I gotta go to court for this shit, you know, or I know that they just trying to make money, and they understand it. Plus, it's a lot of times, you know, the guys on the corner selling dope. Those are the fucking petty criminals. You know what I'm
You ain't
saying?
going nowhere with that shit.
Yeah, that's petty shit. So a lot of, you know, the shit that regular street cops deal with is all petty.
Mm.
If you want to deal with the high rollers out there, you got to do the investigations part. You know what I'm saying? You got to get with DEA. You got to get with those guys
That's what
because
I was
those are,
saying. You know, the problem is, in my opinion, from what I see, and again, I'm on the outside looking in. The problem is with the patrol cops. You know, detectives, they're far too busy to be fucking with the regular dude. But the patrol cops, it seems to me, are the ones that have an issue with the authority line. You know, it's like they give a command and they expect you to jump at it like, yes, sir, yes, sir. And then when they don't get that reaction, then they get upset. So I think it's the patrol cops that we need to take a look at, because it seems like they're the ones that have the most negative interactions with Johnny Public. So, you know, and speaking of that, the cops that I know, the detectives and all that, those guys, man, life, you know, they just know better. They're like, dude, I'm too busy. Like you said, I'm too busy for this shit, bro. You know, I don't want to get involved in petty shit like that. But anyway, you know, I've taken a lot of your time and we went over. So I'm sorry, I don't want to take up your whole night. But like I said, this ain't the first and the last. You know, there's more interviews. I value your opinion because you've been there. You have the experience. You've been in the uniform. So that's why I wanted to get your opinion on that situation. But, you know, like I said, we'll have more podcasts.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
So,
Just let me know, hit me up.
yo, I wanna end it with this. You should take a look at Breakpoint because I think you would enjoy it. I think you would enjoy it. It's on sale right now too, so check it
All
out.
right,
Yeah,
I will.
if you scoop it up, we'll squad up and take these missions down.
I'm down with that, dude.
Right on, right on. All right, thanks, Angela. I'll see you in a minute.
All right, y'all have a good night. Thank
Yo, matter of
you.
fact, yeah, I'll jump online in Modern Warfare tomorrow and I'll look for you.
All right,
All right,
I'll probably be on tomorrow.
right on, right on. All right, you have a good one.
All right, you too, dude.